Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakwadash. Yahweh is the true holy name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the true holy name of the Son. And double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. I'm the brother Barak, and I'm going to be doing a lesson. This lesson is going to be about, the wisdom of this world is foolishness, right? Something along the lines of that. So in the screenshot I posted, you can see, this. So right here from the brother Selah, it says, why even Harvard's smartest students can't get a job now? Then it says, jobless Harvard sheeps. And that's because this whole world is collapsing, man. Esau's kingdom is collapsing. People can't get a job, and if they do get a job, minimum wage is not sufficient enough to even maintain a decent lifestyle anymore. People out here living in their cars, right? People out here living in tents. America is crumbling. Those are signs of a collapsing society, man. Right? You got people stealing groceries. But anyway, back to the point. The world, Esau tells you, you got to do this. You got to study up for your SATs. You got to study for your ACTs, your mathematics. You got to memorize all these formulas. But that's just foolishness. That's just complete fucking nonsense, man. I'm going to read it again. It says 1 Corinthians 3:19, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh, for it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. So these people have what you call, these people are smart relative to the world, right? They're just basically, smart within their own, bubble. But, they have no discernment when it comes to, dealing with certain individuals. They have no understanding of prophecy. They have no understanding of, how the Heavenly Father operates, right? These people are they think they're going to get a job in a fucking dying society, right? But, the Lord revealeth his secrets unto his prophets before he does anything. So, that's the true knowledge, the true wisdom is understanding this truth. Not some Harvard degree and memorizing a bunch of things. Because, and there's even a saying, right? I believe it was this guy, Gordon Ryan. He's a jiu-jitsu practitioner. He said something along the lines of, some people work hard, but hard work isn't always the answer, because you can end up on Wall Street. The guys that are working on Wall Street and the guys who are digging ditches, the guys who are digging ditches are the ones working hard, but the guys who are working on Wall Street are the ones who are smart. They have, they're put in that position of power, right? Ultimately, those people are wicked. But, Esau tells you, you got to go to school, you got to work hard. You have to, you have to just keep working, But these people have no discernment. They don't have any knowledge of what's about to happen, But I'm just using that as an example, basically, because these people are sheeple, They can't see the signs that the society is collapsing, right? Right here, it says people are living in their cars in 2025. And this was 6 months ago, but, it's gotten way worse. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure the number's only gone up. Now you're seeing more and more videos of, homeless people straight out of school, become homeless. You know what I'm saying? The prices of meat in the store going up to $26 for was it 3 pounds of meat or something? That's some fucking ridiculous number, man. But you know what I'm saying? Thing is, these people, man, we've been telling people to get prepared. The men of the Lord have been telling people, this shit's about to go down. The world is collapsing, the economy is collapsing. You know what I'm saying? Even people with businesses, people who are doing quite well, are feeling the squeeze. You know what I'm saying? People are living in their cars, right? But you got Harvard University people. People study all their lives, right? The most people consider one of the most prestigious schools in the world, right? And you can't even find no job. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't even need you no more, right? This is the book of Isaiah 19:15. It says, "Neither shall there be any work." So like, yeah, some demon was just outside staring. Okay, so it says Isaiah 19:15. It says, "Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do," and it's gonna get to that point. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get to that point where there ain't gonna be no more jobs. Why? Because Esau has systems ready to replace people. His way of your education doesn't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge of this world is foolishness, right? Let's bring this. I'm gonna bring out some picture. It says right here. It says Tesla robots. Tesla Optimus Gen 3 humanoid robot is scheduled to begin mass production with the goal of producing around 1 million units in the following 5 years. So you already know this, and this robot is able to pick shit up, move around, do certain tasks. So why the fuck do they need you, to go be flipping burger patties, to be moving boxes around in a warehouse, when they can have a robot do it, and the robot can do it 24/7, basically. Probably you can charge it up for a little bit, a couple hours, get back to work. You don't gotta pay it anything. It does not complain. You don't gotta give it food. It don't go on breaks. It doesn't isn't rebellious or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna give you an attitude. It's just gonna keep doing the order. So why the fuck does these people? Why the fuck do they need you? You know what I'm saying? They're gonna replace your ass, and that's and that's why there's not gonna be no more work for anybody. Your education ain't gonna mean shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the robot's gonna have AI capabilities, AI mind, right? But yeah, these people, man, they worked, they worked all that. They did all that work for no reason, And even if they do get a job, even if they do build up in Babylon, it's all, at the end of the day, it's all gonna lead to what? A fucking nuke. A fucking nuke is gonna hit their fucking head. They're gonna be missile food. They're gonna have that painful judgment, right? Now I'm gonna bring something out. This is Matthew 25, the parable of the wise and foolish virgins. And it says, "Then the kingdom of heaven shall be likened to 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom." And that bridegroom basically represents Yahushai, right? And it says, "Now 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish." And the 5 wise wives represent the 1/3, and the 5 foolish wives represent the 2/3, right? And it says, let's see, "Those who were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them." So, and it says, "But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. But while the bridegroom was delayed, they all slumbered and slept." So what does that oil represent? The oil represents this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And basically, if you don't have that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this truth, of this Bible, what's going to happen to you, right? Let's keep reading. It says, and at the midnight is a cry was heard, behold, the bridegroom is coming, go out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out. But the wise answered, saying, no, lest there should not be enough for us and you, but go rather to those who sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the wedding, and the door was shut. Afterward, the other virgins came also, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, assuredly, I say to you, I do not know you. So, this basically, represents, this truth, and, Yahweh Shai. And, you have to seek this truth now. Don't be procrastinating, right? Don't be procrastinating and falling back into the world, thinking you got it, you know what I'm saying? That you can just go fuck around all day, that's why the scriptures talk about seeking the truth while you're young, right? This place has come to an end. There ain't gonna be no more time to, fuck around and do all these random side quests and all this bullshit and get a degree from Harvard, all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to prepare the oil in your lamp now. You don't wait. You don't procrastinate. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, all the talents of this world, the knowledge of this world is all unprofitable. The only thing that's profitable is this truth and going out and doing the ministry of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, right? So, I just wanted to make that quick lesson, that's all I got for now. Lord willing, it was edifying, straight to the point. I'm going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, B'Shem Rakak Wadash, and double honors to my apostles and the elders at GMS who taught me this truth. Shalom.